Hello and welcome back to the Boxed and Bound studio. Today I want to show you my new tags and cards kit called My Butterfly Girls. I think they're gorgeous. I hope you do too. They are very vintagey and very, I think their faces are very ethereal, and I loved working with them and putting them together for you and also, let's face it, for me, because I've had fun doing these. So as with all the tags and card sets, you get 2 pages of different tags, 2 pages of ATC size cards, and then a page of mini ATC cards. Then with the bonuses you get an envelope and a card, a 4x6 greeting card base, and also this time I've decided that I want to give you a pocket with some extra ephemera, and so now I want to show you how to put everything together in this kit, and then you can take it and add your own personal touches to it, put it into journals that would work with butterflies or beautiful ethereal girls. And just enjoy the kit. So a couple of things that I want to show you. This is the envelope made up, which is really gorgeous with the butterflies on it, and here is the greeting card made up with the base and then one of the larger ATC cards and one of the happy birthday labels. And this is the pocket made up. So the pocket base is made up like this, and then you can add extra bits to the back to make another pocket on the back if you want to, and then you can tuck tags and the mini cards into the pocket, and it's a standalone piece because it's double-sided, or you can glue this into or onto a journal page if you'd like to. So let me show you how we put these extra bonus bits together using the My Butterfly Girls tags and cards set. So first off, let's make the greeting card. The greeting card base I have printed onto 250 GSM cardstock, which is about £90 cover, and then I cut the rectangle out. Now you know that I'm a bit of an inker. I like to ink around the edges of things, but this is such a pretty card all on its own. I decided not to ink around the card base, just because I think that it looks very pretty as it is. It doesn't need any extra inking. To create the card, you just score down the center of the card if you're going to use a scoreboard, or even more easily is you just fold and match the short sides together and use a bone folder just to crisp up that fold. It's as easy as that. Then that's your card base all ready to go. Then you need to decide on one of the ACT card girls, the bigger size, which one you'd like to put, and there's a choice of 8. So just depending on what the purpose of this card is, who you're giving it to, it just depends on what you want to use the card for. I think I love that one. I love them all, but I think I like this one for this particular demonstration. So if you might have noticed with these cards, I'm not going to glue this bang smack in the middle of the face of this card. I'm going to just shift it up a bit because I want to use one of these sentiments. I'm actually going to use the thank you shape, which you will find, let me find it for you, on the same page as the layout for the pocket. I don't know where it's gone. There it is. So you've got a thank you, a happy birthday, and you've got two plain, one with a draw pull shape on it and one with a plain one. And you can use these also for the cards. You would just need to stamp a sentiment or something on there if you didn't want a thank you or a happy birthday. I'm going to use the thank you one, and I'm going to stick it kind of down the bottom. So I'm going to off center the ACT card, or the picture of the girl, closer to the top of the card, and then I'm going to glue the thank you label so that we've got about the same amount of space top and bottom, maybe a little bit less down here, but just so that it all works on the face of the card. Now, I would definitely ink around the edges of the picture of the girl, so we can quickly do that. I have gone back to my all-time favourite, which is brushed corduroy, to do that job. And then if you notice on the one that I've already made, this is actually, you know, quite a bit darker than the original that you printed out. If you want to make it darker like that, all you do is get yourself a scrap piece of paper, pop your label on the scrap piece, and then just use your inking sponge to go over it in a circular motion, and that will change the colour to a more vintagey look if you want to. And then you can quickly whiz around the edges of the label. Right, so that's that all set up. So once you've worked out the positioning, how you want the front of your card to look, you need some glue. PVA glue will work, or glue stick. It's just something to glue your card to the front of the greeting card. And we'll glue that into place. Like that. And then we'll put glue on the back of the label. And glue it into place and centering it. So you've got a sort of a nice layered look, a vintagey look, but it's still quite nice and light and airy looking, because these pictures are just so ethereal. I wanted that lovely airy look and feel to the card. Alright, so we need to now make the envelope to go with the card. So once you've cut out the, I did have this all prepared, but it's all got a bit jumbled up. Here you go. So once you've cut out the straight edges of the envelope, I've also included on this layout some little black lines on the long sides. These lines will line up on your scoreboard so that you get a nice straight score line on the horizontal lines for your envelope. I just thought that might be helpful. So I'm going to use my big scoreboard, and I'm going to line up 2, 3, 4, line everything up so that the black lines go in, these lines here that I've created actually line up into the center of the score line, and then run my bone folder along that line, and we'll do that again. I just thought it might make it easier for some people. Is cut out the remainder of the envelope, just so that we can see exactly where we need to line up for those scores. I'll quickly do that. Okay, and then it's a matter of just scoring where down the lines, and you match the score line with the edge here where you've cut your envelope. So we might use this black line here, and the same on the opposite side. Okay, now we're just going to, if you want to ink, I recommend you just ink this bottom edge, which will be the flap on the back of the envelope here, and just the 3 sides of the top flap of the envelope. So I'd already done that one, so we'll just need to, this has all been done, and do this side. We don't need to do these sides because these are the flaps we're folding in. And we don't necessarily need to do that one because it's going to actually glue onto these flaps, the side flaps. So fold your side flaps in to the wrong side. And then fold the bottom flap, which is the bigger of the 2 flaps, up so that that rests. And then we're going to glue this flap to the 2 sides, and then that's what makes the envelope. And you can just, I tend to use my bone folder to just help bring everything together. And then if you fold the top flap down, that's your envelope completed. And then it's all a matter of putting your beautiful card into your envelope. Now, if you wanted to put a label on your envelope, you've got a choice of 2 things. I've made a picture frame. If you were going to send this in the post and you needed some space, you know, a space for a name and address, then you could always stick this picture frame onto the front of the envelope so there's room to do a name and address. Or you could use, if it was just to be hand given, you could use one of the small blank labels to write a name in there. Or you could write it on top of the butterflies. It's you know, whatever works for you. So there's some handy alternatives for naming and addressing. Now let's have a look at the pocket. The pocket piece is this sheet here, and I've printed the pocket onto 160 GSM paper, and I'll put the equivalent paper poundage down below this video because it's gone off the top of my head. So we print that in, and by the time it's all folded up, it'll actually become quite a sturdy pocket. So to create the pocket, you don't need to print anything on the back because this all folds up and creates the background once we've done the folding. So cut out around the straight sides of the pocket. So you end up with something that looks like this without the little chamfered edges being cut. Because I'm going to show you how to make those all match up in a minute. So the next thing we're going to do is turn this over so that we've got the blank side of the paper facing up. And we're going to fold the left hand, we're going to match this vertical left hand edge to this vertical edge here and fold this piece in half. So what we're doing is we're creating the front and the back tall part of the pocket. Alright, so that's the back, this is the front of the pocket. And we can just apply glue to one side or the other, doesn't matter which, so that it all glues together. Just use a bone folder just to make sure, and do make sure that it's actually straight when all said and done. It is helpful if it's all straight and sits nicely. Okay, before we fold this pocket and finish it off, what I would like to do, and you don't have to do it, again, it is a preference, but if you can see, can you see I've created like a little curve, a little thumb pull in these short part of the pocket front. Now I haven't included it because I didn't know if everyone has a 2-inch circular hole punch or not, but if you'd like to create this shape, what I recommend you do is before you fold over your pocket, because you can't do it once you've created the whole pocket, is you find the center of the pocket front. So in centimeters, it is actually easier in millimeters, to be perfectly honest. Anyway, that's your center mark there. Then you need a 2-inch hole punch, circular hole punch, and keeping in mind that that's your center, you just slide everything in and try and center it over the hole punch as best you can, and then punch out the curve. If it's out by a few millimeters or a 1/16 of an inch, I don't think it's going to matter. And then you can just ink it like that. So that's done. Then fold over the pocket front, and then fold over the flap to the back and the bottom flap to the back as well. And use your bone folder just to press everything down. Once you're happy with that, then you can just glue the flaps to the back of the pocket. Okay. And then remember these chamfered corners. Now that everything's in place, just turn to the front and just use the edges of the pocket front to guide you as to where to cut your pocket corners. And I didn't do a terribly good job of folding, so just trim that off to make that look better. The other thing you can do is just flip it over and make sure that, yes, your chamfered edges are looking good on the back as well. This is, if you are going to glue this into a journal as is, then you don't need to worry too much more about the back. So there's a hole here, you can punch that with your hole punch. Okay, so that's, and then you can ink around all the edges if you'd like to ink. Alright, so now let's have a look at the back. If you want to do something on the back as well, here is one of the mini tags. You can pop, and we'll glue her into place. So let's do that. And she fits, so long as you line up the bottom of the card with the bottom of the pocket, then she fits on that back panel. And then you can use one of these tags as an extra little pocket like this. See this? Okay. So do I need to, yes, I'm going to add a little bit more colour to it. Here's my bit of paper. So we'll do that same thing again that we did with the card, the greeting card. Just add some colour. And again, you don't have to do this, but I think it just brings it a little bit more to life. And because we just want it to be a pocket, a little tuck pocket, we're going to just run in, a little line of glue just on the two little short sides and the long bottom side. So a little bit of glue. Okay. Just down the bottom. And then you can add a little label of some sort. Now, I've got my labels here. These labels and this little box is something that I'm about to release. So keep an eye out in the next little while. I just haven't done all the videos for it yet. But this is a little box. It'll match, slidey match, based on a matchbox. And then lots of little labels, and it's great for keeping little things and little ephemera in. So that's coming up. So part of that kit are all these luscious little labels. So I'm going to just glue a label in here, just so that we don't have a blank face. You could stamp, you could use something else. Just I happen to have these labels. Okay, and then that will hold more tags. One of the round tags, it will hold a tall tag. So you've got, it's actually quite a versatile little pocket, this one. It holds things on the back, things in the front, and it will also glue in quite happily to a journal as well. So that's the new tags and cards kit. Hope you love it. I hope it works for something that you have planned in your journals. And thanks for hanging out with me in the studio today, and we'll talk soon. Bye.